Hello, my name is David Padilla, and we'll be doing workshop number 8. We will start up by creating a new file, and we'll call it workshop 8. I already had one, so I'll just overwrite it. Okay, on new model preferences, make sure right here is at 10. This one is selected Nastran and structural. Hit OK. Now we're gonna go to menu, file, and we're gonna import the file that we need. And it should be called luck. So you hit apply. A report is gonna come out, and you should have your solid, which is right here. That piece. Once we did that, we're gonna go group, modify, and the default group, we're gonna rename it to hex 8. Press OK. Alright, and we're gonna go to geometry. We're gonna create points by extracting. Make sure right here at 0.5. If you wanna unclick the auto execute, that way you don't have problems. And we're gonna hold shift and select curve, this one, and the one here in the back. And if you are having problems selecting with your mouse, you could either type it out right here and put these coordinates, or you could select it with your mouse. Hit apply. If you want to make sure you have your points, you're gonna change the point size. You're gonna click right there at home, and you're gonna see all your points. So you extract them, so far we're doing good. Now we're gonna create, gonna go to plane. We're gonna switch the method to 3 points. Again, we unclick the audio execute, and we're gonna select for this one, the first point, we're gonna select this one, the second one, the one that is on the other side, and the last one right next to it. Hit apply, and you should have a plane with a vector pointing upwards. Now we're going to create another one. So we're going to click this point, the one that is far apart, and the one that is right next to it. So it should be 3, 1, 6. You hit apply. Again, it should be pointing to the left. Now we have our 2 planes. Now that we have that, we're going to break it into several solids. So we're going to edit, solid, break. Right here is that point. We're going to go to plane. And again, take off audio execute. And we're going to hit the solid, which is only one solid. And we're going to break it out plane 1 as well. Hit apply. Hit yes. And now we have 2 solids. Now we're going to solid list, we're going to select those 2 solids, and we're going to select the other plane. So it should be solid 2, 3, and plane 2. Hit apply. Hit yes. And now we should have 4 solids. Once we created 4 solids, we will move on to the next part, which is creating another group. So we head to group, create. And now this one, we're going to call it TED4. Hit apply, cancel, and we're going to go to transform, point, translate. Once we're going to move the point to solid, translate. And right here on direction vector, we're going to put it 0, space, -10, 0. So it's where it's going to locate it at, and we're going to select all 4 solids, and we hit apply. And you should have another one here at the bottom. Now we're going to go back again to group, create, TED 10. We're going to name it to TED 10, and we hit apply again. Cancel, and we are going to do the same thing, but here on direction vector we're going to change that one to 15. Same thing with the solids, you hit apply. There you go. Now it should have 3 of them. Once we created those 2, we're going to go head back to hex 8 again. We're going to apply, so it should remove the other 2. Well, not remove, but hide the other 2. And we're going to make it fit on the screen, that way we can see it better. You could change the views on orientation. One that's common to use is the SO1 view. Should be like that. Okay, so now we're going to extract more points. Again, point, extract, same thing here, 0.5, and we're going to select this curve, this one, this one, this one, and here at the bottom should be 5 curves that you're going to be selecting. You hit apply, and it should create these points. Should be 5 points already created. Now we're going to create a point, but instead of extract, it should be arc center. Again, take auto execute, and we're going to select these 2 curves, and we hit apply. And you should have these 2 points in the center, and we're good to go on the next one. It's gonna create plane, 3 points again. So we select this point, then the one that's on the other side, and the one that is right next to the first point. Click apply, and you should get a plane right there pointing to the left. Same thing with the other 3 points, so it's going to be the first one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. Oh, it didn't do it properly. There we go. Hit apply. As you can see, this we want it to go downwards and it's going left, so we got it wrong. So we click here, here, and here. Apply. There we go. So now we have it correct, but we have the other plane, so we could delete it. Plane 4, and we delete it. Let's refresh, and now we have it. Boom. Okay, so now we have the planes. Now we get to edit, solid break. Same thing we did on the other ones. So we select this solid, we select this plane, apply, yes, and there you go. We have now 2 solids. Do the same thing with the other one, this plane. Remember, I deleted the plane 4, but if you did it correctly, you should be called plane 4. But since I deleted 4, this one is 5. So apply, and there we go. Now we have 2 planes. I mean 2 solids. Okay, so once we created those solids, we proceed to separating this solid, but for that we need to create a point, and we're going to, instead of extracting, we're going to project. We unselect the audio execute, we select this point and this curve. Once we hit apply, you should see a point right above this one. Now we're able to create another plane by using 3-point method, and again we select this point, the one on the other side, and the one right next to the first one. Hit apply, and it should be pointing to the left. So all are pointing on the right direction. So we're good. Now we could break it. We select this, and we break it on this plane. Hit apply. Yes to all, and we're good. Now since we created all solids on the bottom, we could do it on the top, but it's too much, so we're gonna delete those 2 solids. This one and this one, we delete them because we're gonna do it another way. And we're also gonna delete the planes because we're not gonna need them anymore. So we delete, boom. Okay. So now we're gonna head into what we could do first is we could see it much better. Having a hard time seeing it, so we'll go to display, identity, and the solids we're gonna change color to black, and there we go, we get to see them. Alright, cancel. We could also label them. Let's see. Oh, we'll just proceed. Okay, so now we're gonna edit. We're gonna edit the solid, and we're gonna refit it. Make sure on these are 1, 1, 1, and the tricubic net is selected. We remove the audio execute, and we select all 4 or 5, I mean, solids. We hit apply. Yes. Yes for all, and there we go. So we have all 5 of them. We're ready to proceed to creating a mirror. So we had to create, solid, and oh no, it's not create, it's transform. Transform, solid, and mirror. Okay, here in define mirror plane, we're gonna delete that. And here in the options, we have the 3 points for the plane. Gotta select that. Make sure the audio execute is not selected. And we're gonna pick these points. This one, and this one. And on solids, we're gonna pick all 4 of them. We are gonna hit apply. And it should show, it should make the solids on the top as well. If you're having a hard time seeing your points, make sure to pop them out so you can select them properly. And there we go. We're going to move on to the next part. On the next part, we're going to be creating another group called hex 20. So we're going to create it, cancel, and we're going to go to transform, solid, and translate. Right here, it's going to be on vector. Let me move this so you can see better. On here, we're going to change that -10 into a 0, so it should be 15, 0, 0. And for the solids, we're going to be selecting all the solids, which would be between 22 and 31. Okay, so we apply, and it should be right next to it with all the solids. And there we go. We have 4. So if we want to see all 4 of them, we go to group, post, and we select all, apply. You'll have all 4 of them right here. You could switch it to front view so you can see it better. You know, it's zoom in. You can work around on that. We could reduce the point markers. We could display it solid. No, whichever. So we're gonna put it on frame, and we're gonna head to creating coordinates. We need to make coordinates, so we go to, let's go and create coordinate. on the first one, so it's create, coordinate, and 3 points again. So we're gonna use, make sure the audio execute is off. So we're gonna select for the first point, we're gonna zoom in here. Right there, we're gonna select it here. The other one over here, and this one in the center. Gonna hit apply. And we didn't do it right. Let's undo it. So again, we're going to select, it's going to be this one, and this one. Let's see. There we go. It's C pointing on this direction, Y pointing on that direction, and R pointing. Oh, I forgot something. It's supposed to be cylindrical. Now let's see. There we go. T, R, and Z. Again, I'll zoom in so you guys can see better. It's supposed to be pointing upwards on R, Z front, and T to the left. If it's any different from that, try to work around with these points. And once you have done that, we will move on to the next. So we're going to create a coordinate on each one. Okay, so first we're going to head to group, post, and we're going to be selecting hex 8, apply, then press cancel, and now we're gonna do the meshing. So we're gonna go to mesh, and it's gonna be create, mesh, and it's gonna be solid. So we put create, mesh, solid, and you should have this window. Make sure you select hex and hex 8. This one should be ISO mesh. Okay, so now we're gonna remove these automatic calculations and set it to value. It's gonna be 0.5. And on the solid list, we're gonna be selecting all of them. All right. So we're going to select all of them. It should be between 22 and 31. And we're going to hit apply. There you go. If you want to see the nodes that also were created right there, it's just there are too many, so I'd rather turn it off. And there we go. So we have that. And we're going to do the same thing, but for hex 20. So we're going to apply, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to select all 4 of these at 5, but this one we're going to change it to hex 20, and make sure everything is about the same, and you hit apply. There we go. Now we have both of them. Alright, so we're going to head now to post TED 4, apply, cancel. And we're going to do the same thing, but with these ones. So we select these, select all 4 of them, which is going to be from 8 to 11. Same thing, 0.5, and right here we're going to put TED. It should be TED 4, and we select and we apply. And there you go. Now we're going to head to post, select 10, And we're going to do the exact same thing, except right here it's going to be TED and TED 10. And we're going to select these solids and we apply. Okay. Alright, so now we finish with meshing on all of them. We're going to go back to post on the group and we're going to select all of them. We apply. Should have it something like that. Okay, and we're going to go to finite elements. We're going to verify elements, boundaries, and we're going to, on free edges, we're going to apply. And it should change it like this. Now we're gonna go to equivalence. It's gonna be on all and tolerance cubed, and all of this should be about the same. And you hit apply, and you go again to verify free edges. Just to double check. Yeah, so just to double check right there. Once we have done that, we are gonna create more coordinates for each one of them. See, as this one only has one coordinate. Okay, so we're gonna first go to geometry, create coordinates, but since we already have it, we can use the transform. Coordinates, translate, and right here we're gonna go to direction vector. Right here it's gonna be 1500, and on coordinate, this one we're going to change it to coordinate 1. We could just type it out right there, coordinate 1. Oh, not right here, over here. Audio execute coordinate 1 on the frame list. Right? And we're going to hit apply. And it should be on this one. And we're going to repeat it so we could have it on this one and also on this one. Okay. So we hit okay, so we're going to go through A through C. Alright, so it's going to be direction vector, it's going to be negative, it's going to be 0, negative 10, coordinate 2, and we're gonna go 15, coordinate 3, oh, wrong one, this one's 0, I undid it, now I apply it, oh, did it wrong again, right here negative. There we go. So we have all 4 coordinates. Once we have the coordinates, we're gonna put on smooth, that way we can see it, and we're gonna alright, so we're gonna go to fields, we're gonna create spatial. Right here it's gonna be spatial and POC function. Alright, on PLC function, we're going to put sine pressure and hex 8. Okay, and coordinates 1, and it's going to be, and right here it's going to be sine r apostrophe t. So it should look like this, and that should be it. Remember, it's on coordinate 1, so we could apply on hex 8, and we create it. Sine real coordinates 1 let's put sine r apostrophe. There we go, and we hit, and if everything's right, yeah, we hit apply. And as it is created, it should be on this box. Now we're going to head to 20, coordinate number 2. Same thing on scalar function, and we create, and we apply. And the next one will be 10, coordinate number 3. We hit apply. On the other one, we did it a little bit differently. This one right here is coordinate number 3, which is 10. On the practice, it says to put coordinate number 3 on this one. I went just a little bit differently. Right here you can see the numbers of the coordinates. Right here is 3, 2, 1. And remember, this one was 10. That way we applied it on that one. Okay, just be careful with the coordinates. And this one we're going to put 4. And we're going to apply. And there we go. We have it for all 4 coordinates. Right here all created. So we're good to go to the next part. So we're now going to create pressure. Right here on element uniform, we're going to put pressure. So it's going to be create pressure element uniform. And we're going to put here hex 8 for the name. We're going to input the data. Right here we're going to switch it from 1 to 1000. And we're going to select for hex 8. Press OK. In the selection, we're going to go to geometry. And we're going to zoom in here. And it's going to be these 4 curves on the left side. So it's going to be shift, hold that one, that one, that one, and that one. It should be these 4. You add them, press OK. So once you put the input data, the selected application region, then we're good to go. And we press apply. And you can see right here the forces that are being applied from the inside out. Okay, so we're good so far, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be repeating it for each one of them. but using the difference. So let's go to create hex 20, input data, same thing, 1000 here, but we're gonna be selecting hex 20. I'm gonna press OK. Selection, holding shift, we'll be able to select this one, this one, this one, and this one. We add them, okay, and then we apply. Okay, so now we just need the other ones. Fit there, okay. So we go to TED 4, input data, again 1000, but on TED 4. Press OK, select areas, it's going to be only these two. We add them, press OK, apply. Now we're going to do for number 10, input data, this one, area of selecting is these two. We add them, OK, and we apply. So there we have it. We have all the pressure points that we need, and we proceed to the next step. So we create loads. So we go to loads, create displacement. So it should be create displacement and nodal. So we're gonna name a new set, and it's gonna be called train. We're gonna input data, and on translation we're gonna put 0 space 0 space 0. Another way we could put it also, it could be 0 comma 0 comma 0, and we press OK. And on the select region, we're going to select it we're going to go to so we're going to click on surface or face, and it's going to be this one and this one, okay? And might as well select all of them for each one of them. So let's zoom out a little bit, and we're going to select all of them. Okay, once we select, press OK, and we're going to hit apply. There you go. It should be 1, 2, 3 on each point between there. And once we have that, we're going to create materials. So we go to properties, create isotropic, create isotropic, and manual input. We're going to call it aluminum, and we're going to input the properties. Elastic modulus is going to be 10 to the 6, and Poisson ratio is going to be 0.3, and we click OK. We hit apply. Now we're gonna associate those elements, so we're gonna head to create 3D property, solid, so it's gonna say create 3D property solid, I clicked it from here, so it sent me right to that spot. And on properties, we're gonna just right here solid. Once we have solid on the name, we then go to input properties. We're gonna select the property we just created, which is aluminum. Click OK. So select application region, and we're going to select all solids, which is going to be all that, and we add, and we press OK. Once we did that, we're going to press apply, and it should create it. It should say right there solid. And finally, we're going to modify the load. So we're going to go to loads. We're going to go to modify. And right here, let me see. Modify. Oh, first you have to create load case, then you hit modify, and you select the default. Right here you're gonna see a window, and it's gonna say the scale factor. It's gonna have all hex 20, hex 8, tet 4, tet 10. Same thing in here, and yeah, it should show you all of them. So we're good to go. We're just checking if it has all the pressures and the constraint. So we do, so we're good to go. Now we're gonna run analysis. So we head here to analysis. We just need to analyze the deck. We could make it smaller. We don't need that much information. We press OK. Anything else? It should be the same. If you want to check solutions, it should say here 101. We're good. So we hit apply. So it's gonna run it, and it should be good. And then you're off to using Nastran to do the analysis. And that should be all. Thank you.